Hey guys, Jonathan here. It's about 7:45 on Friday, February the 8th, and sitting here at the Nicholson Ford parking area on the Foothills Trail. Just give it a little bit of 360 on that, and heading down to the Chattooga today to do a day hike. It's a hike that I haven't done in probably 20 years in this direction, just going in. It's probably about maybe 3/4 of a mile down to Licklog camping area, and then maybe another mile to the turnoff where I'm going to try to find a campsite down on the Chattooga that I don't know if it really exists or not, or if it exists. I've seen it on a map. From a signage standpoint, you can see right here, Chattooga River 7/10 of a mile, Burles Ford's upstream 8.9, and Table Rock is 68.7 miles. Yeah, so we're very near Oconee State Park on this. So we'll be hiking a section of the Foothills Trail today, and hope you enjoy it. Nothing fancy, nothing wild and crazy, just a good hike. So hope you enjoy it. Weather today is kind of weird. It's early February and we've just gotten through a section of 80-degree, well, mid 70-degree days here. And today, right now, it's supposed to be about 60, which is fine. Got some wind, but have to watch it on the temperatures. It's supposed to get cooler as the day goes on, which will make it good hiking, but you just got to watch out for layers to make sure you don't get super sweaty. Not going to be out here overnight, but nonetheless, you still have to watch out for it. Down through here, a lot of that's the trail where I just came from. A lot of dead hemlocks, you can see all down through here. Looks like a lot of dead white pines too. Winds are kind of gusty up in the parking lot. That was odd. Gotta watch out for that. Trail down to Licklog is fundamentally downhill all the way, and this will spit us out right at the falls. So we'll let you see that when we get down to it. On the way down, maybe about 10 minutes in, probably less than that, we passed a number of really nice campsites, or what used to be really nice campsites. You can see where a lot of timber has fallen in the area. Somebody sawed some of it up over there. This tree's fallen. Number of them, let's go up. Number of them are thinking about it. So I don't know if you'd want to camp in this area right now or not, but like I said, it's because all the hemlocks and white pines and that sort of thing are dying. Wasn't calling for rain today. Check the forecast, but telling you the way the clouds look overhead, wouldn't doubt it too much if ran into a rain shower. Brought a poncho, I think. It's either a poncho or a tarp. Not really sure which. Both of them are the same color. A couple of bridges. I'd like to. This is an interesting one. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the bridge is tilted. I don't know, maybe a 20-degree angle, maybe 15, something like that. But quite a few years ago, yeah, I brought coffee with me. Still had a lot of it left in the car, so decided to be ashamed to leave it. But a number of years ago, I was doing a solo hike from 28 down to 76, which is 28's a few miles downstream from here, maybe 5 miles downstream from here. But about 10 minutes into my hike, I came on a bridge like that, and it was raining. And I slipped, had a pack on, and actually fell down into the water. I'm laying in the water with my pack on, 5 minutes into my hike. That was fun. Hurt my ring finger on my left hand. It started swelling up really quick. It was bent at a really odd angle, but took my wedding band off. Finger swelled up. Taped it to the finger beside it. Hike turned out good. This is coming down into the camping area right at Lick Log Creek. You can hear Lick Log Falls off to my left. Right here, the Chattooga Trail splits off down that way. We'll go down to the falls in just a second. But the Foothills Trail and the Chattooga Trail both keep going straight right here north. That's the way we'll come back up and go. But let's take you down to the falls right quick. You used to could camp right here at the falls, but they've since closed it to camp, and I guess it was because of impact. I'm going to stop here for a minute, take a break. Really only about 10 minutes into it, but going to take a break. I'll turn you guys back on shortly. This is probably about as good a place as any to show you where I'm heading. Just past this sign, got through past Lick Log. A little ways north of that, I mean like 100 yards north of that. Past this sign, 28 3.7 straight ahead. Foothills Trail off to the left, which is where I came from. Little camping area over along Log Creek, right over there. And up there, I can see it in the viewfinder, so I'm assuming you can see it okay on the camera. Trail goes up and around that. And somewhere up there, about a half a mile, maybe a little more, trail takes a pretty good dog leg off to the right. And right in that vicinity, there's supposed to be a trail going down to a campsite on the river. that I have never been to. That's where I'm going. Green blazes are Chattooga Trail. White blaze, way up in there, is the Foothills Trail. So, I'll bring you back on as we're going up through there. See if I can find the spur trail going down to the campsite. Maybe, maybe not. Still got my coffee. We'll see. Little ways in. Maybe about 10-15 minutes up the trail. Trail levels out on this ridge. Yep, out of breath. It's okay. And there's in a gully, there's a road that goes, or a old logging road that goes down to the river. But I think it was back there. But I think we might be getting close to our dog leg. Regardless, up on top of the ridge, after that short incline, it levels out, kinda. We're still going up gradually, but not bad. The last time I hiked this trail in this direction was over 20 years ago. I remember it like it was yesterday. Remember it like it was yesterday. Well, don't know if this is the right trail. Been going down an old logging road for about maybe 10 minutes. I figured this sure looks like a nice campsite. So I figured I'd turn the camera back on. Let's have a look. There's definitely been people down here. Simply because there were a couple of cut trees back there where somebody had been clearing the trail. There's something metal over here. Let's go look at that. Definitely a nice campsite, I'll give it that. And over here, looks like where maybe somebody dumped all of their cooking gear. They said they weren't carrying it back out and they would just use it the next time they came in. Wow. That's serious. You got a collapsible frying pan with a lid and I mean the whole cook set back in there, hanging up from the trees. Water bottle and a log something. I don't know what that is. Huh. That's interesting. There were two places that I was looking for. That's where I came from. Right there. You can see that. But there are two places I was looking for. One of them was a ford of the river, and the other was a trail just down to a campsite on the river. This is definitely a campsite, but if I had to bet dollars to donuts, I would almost call this a ford. Take a look at some of the tracks in the sand here. Those are deer tracks right there. I don't know what those are. But that right there, if I had to bet dollars to donuts, I would say that looks like a Ford. That's okay. I'm gonna hike back up. I'll keep going a little bit further. I'm gonna stop here and take a break for a minute. But when I hike back up, which is gonna be a tough hike back up, I'll keep going a little bit further down the trail, because I would think the trail to the campsite I was thinking about was a lot shorter, and probably a lot easier trail down to the river than this. So nice campsite though. This would be perfect camp space. Definitely don't have to bring any cookware in with you, do you? Huh. I'm gonna take a break and we'll get going again. So one of the key signs, I mean, other than the stack of cookware that's over there hanging from the tree, that tells me that well, I definitely camped here. I mean, duh, with a camp ring, but is that's a Scotch Brite Scrubby that somebody had been using and left here. Not sure why. I just forgot it. The Georgia side over there, I want to look at that because the Georgia side looks fairly open and flat. Right there at least. So I have to look and see where if there's a road over there, an old road, old Forest Service road or something like that. I don't know. Got the sun coming up over there. Sky turned out. These clouds are kind of blown over. Turned back into the partly cloudy day it was being forecast. So anyway, so I'm gonna hike out of here. I don't think this is the campsite I was looking for. I think this is the Ford, and I'll try to show you guys a map of that, the map that I used to kind of scout this place out with. But I think if I go back up and head back north on the trail a little ways, I'll see the trail I'm looking for going down to the other campsite, which is the campsite I was looking for. But this is nice, neat to see. Normally you'll see spikes hanging out of trees where somebody's hung a lantern, those sorts, but I don't see anything like that here. It's okay, it's good. And kind of funny too, there's always a grill that somebody leaves on the campfire ring. Here there's just a couple of old cans, maybe a potted Vienna sausages can down there, another can. Not too bad though. That tells me that not too many people will use this, but whoever packed in, I mean, I wouldn't leave my stuff down here, but I can kind of understand why. It's not easy to get down in here. I have to remember that if I come back, just not bring any cookware and see if I can camp out using that. That would be interesting. Clean it up, heat it up good, and use it. We'll see. Alright, so I'm going to hike back out of here. It'll take me about 10 minutes to get out of here. Maybe 15. And then we'll move on. Okay, we'll give this the old college try here. Let's see what we got. Okay. So it's about 10:30. Thought about hiking on out. I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and give this thing a shot. So this is a twig stove that my mom gave me for Christmas. It's Lixda. I'm even going to pretend to try to pronounce that. Lixda. And it fits together. So easy a child could do it. Get everything turned in the right direction here. Fits together with these slots. There we go. Huh? Close. There we go. Perfect. So easy a child could do it. And you get this little cup, which I think is for like denatured alcohol, if you want to put denatured alcohol in it. So that's pretty cool. Gathered some twigs. And I'm assuming it needs to be somewhat level. That's somewhat level and somewhat secure. Okay, so I'm going to go fill my pot up full of water and let's see what she'll do. I'm not sure that really conveyed what I wanted it to convey, but that's okay. Got water. That's all that matters, right? That's way too much for ramens. Look about right. Still looks like too much, but we'll see if it'll boil it up first. And then we'll go from there. And I have learned that leaves out here make the worst fire starters because everything out here is wet. But we'll try them anyway. See if we can't get lucky on the first try here. I'll be feeding twigs in on this side. It's Friday afternoon, or Friday morning. So I haven't seen anybody out here today. It would surprise me if I were sitting here all day if I saw anybody. Normally, if I'm going to be starting fires or flames, I would bring a fire starter of sort, just a little piece, versus relying on the old Zippo and leaves. It's beyond me how forest fires start. It's so hard to get anything to burn out here. And I am familiar with the dryer lint and all that jazz, but sometimes it's nice just to go with what you have. Okay, so learning some with the twig stove here. We've got had a good rolling boil going, and I decided, I'm gonna make a pot of coffee first. So it looks like with the twig stove, it works best if you feed the twigs in through the bottom there and let it get up a good head of steam. I let it boil for, 5 minutes before I put the coffee on. I know inherently percolating coffee is boiling the water that's in it, but you can never be too safe. So got the coffee perking. Took about, maybe 20 minutes to get that going. I'll turn you back on when we start pouring. Getting a little bit of color there. But you definitely have to stay after it. Like right now I should be adding more twigs because that'll die down in about 2 minutes. So learning. It's working though. We'll turn you back on shortly. It's not too hot. I think I may have just brewed up a good cup of joe here. Whoops. Some flavor crystals on the rim. Yeah. That's a good cup of coffee right there. Yeah, it smells good. Gonna have to let it cool down there for a minute. And we'll give you an action shot of what's going on inside the stove here. So, it's got a good burn going on. Looks like it's eating the sticks that I've been feeding into it there. Got a good bed of coals going on. You do have to, it does seem to work better if you clean out the air holes on the side, the vents. Got little round vents down there. I don't know if you can see them or not. But you have to keep those kind of poked out, I guess, to keep the flame going, which makes sense. Got to have oxygen for fire. But what we'll do is I'll clean out the coffee pot and refill it, and we'll cook up some ramen. Coffee's got to cool down anyway, so we'll share that with you. So for the now we're not just eating ramen here, we're eating top ramen, and we made sure to get the chicken flavor because it's distinctly different than any of the other flavors, pork or steak or fish. Those flavors are distinctly different. In no way are they the same. And we'll just drop that down in there. And I'm using, on this one, because I am impatient, I went ahead and used some of my water that I brought in for that, so I don't have to worry about boiling it. I mean, this is going to boil anyway, but, well, I hope it boils. But that's on there. And I don't really have any advice with respect to what's the right size twig to use on a twiggy stove. About the size of a little bit bigger than a pencil. Seems to work okay. It burns. But it takes a while to burn or to boil. I'd say probably I had a little over 2 cups in there. And to bring it to a rolling boil, it probably took, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes, something like that. But I don't think this stove's meant to be a MSR, meant to be a butane. Oops. A few flavor crystals in the coffee there. But I think it's meant to be a heat it up, take your time. And for that, I think it does pretty good. I'll be honest with you. I'll bring got another wood burn. Oh, that's a big piece right there. It's got a knot on it. That'll burn good. But I don't think it's meant to, fry chicken. I guess you could. But it seems like it heats up and cools down, and that's probably me not feeding twigs into it consistently. But I think it's meant to be a sit around the campfire ring and enjoy it, kind of thing. So for what it's designed for, I'll give it a thumbs up. If I was going on a long hike where I was eating hot lunches, like a lot of times when I go backpacking, I'll eat warm lunches and stuff like that. But a lot of times on a backpacking trip, there we go. A lot of times on a backpacking trip, I'll eat soups, potato soup or something like that for lunch. And I don't think it's meant to be a quick on the trail, heat it up, go kind of a stove. My denatured alcohol stove definitely heats up quicker, but it's designed for different things. So, coffee still hot. Yeah, it's still too hot to drink. Feels good though. Been a nice day out today. A little bit of pontification with Jonathan day, or moment. Winds died down. It's gotten cooler. This is just a beautiful place out here. Camped out here before a few times, and that's fantastic. That works out. Just a nice place. Like I said, we're only about a little over half a mile from the car. So saw one group of hiker, or a couple walking that way. I don't know if it's two guys or a guy and a girl or what. I didn't even see. Just heard and saw one of the guys walking that way. But outside of that, I haven't seen anybody. This is the first time I've ever tried using the old coffee pot as a double duty kind of thing here. Kind of chewing on it with respect to future hiking trips. Just taking the coffee pot and nothing else. Instead of a pot, I take the percolator. It makes a nice statement as you're sitting around the campfire. This thing, the stove, works a lot better, not surprisingly, when there's wind out. There we go. It just fired up like crazy. Which shouldn't surprise us, right? Flames need oxygen. And I think it would do better if the stove, if all four legs were elevated. But anyway, on to pontification. It's a nice day out. Beautiful place. Good hike. But this is a neat shot out here. You'll see the smoke from the stove, but it's still neat. And a lot of smoke. But up through there, that's a neat shot. Got the creek down there. You can see it running. That's where my water came from for my coffee. Like I said, I did boil it to make sure there weren't any bugs in it. But anyway, I'll turn you guys back on when the ramen are ready to eat. Ooh, yeah. Those look, ooh, they smell good. I don't know if those are al dente yet. I don't know if I would know an al dente noodle if it came up and slapped me in the face. But they look pretty good. The old Twiggy stove is doing its thing there. I think I'm going to call those done before they start turning back into dumplings or noodles. I mean, they are noodles, but before they start turning back into dough. Alright. So I'm going to call those done. I'm going to eat some lunch, and then we'll pack up. So I'll probably turn you back on one more time before we leave here, and have a little bit of lunch. It's 12:12, so we did okay. Enjoyed it. Hope you guys did too. So in closing, I would say that the Lixta, I guess that's how you pronounce it, L-I-X-T-A. I would say that the Lixta stove, it did good. It did really good. It took me a little bit to put it together, but that was more operator error than anything else. It's the second time I've ever put it together. But as far as the ability to cook food, boil water, relatively lightweight. It's really lightweight. I like it. It will be used again. I've got some neat coloration here, hopefully. Oh, look at that. Let's take a still of that. Neat coloration there. Discoloration. Heat tinting from the fire. It did really good. Oops. Percolator, as always, did great. Good cup of coffee. Can't beat a cup of coffee sitting out in the woods somewhere. I don't care how you make it. I'm a percolator kind of guy. I just like it. I think I like the I don't know what it's called, the ambiance, whatever, sitting around a stove or a campfire at a campsite, percolating a cup of coffee. Love it. Can't beat it. So, cheers. Good cup of coffee. It's not rum reach. I'll have to show you that next time. So thank you guys for spending time with me, and until then, cheers.